Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Aradhana, and in today's video I'm going to cover the 11th video of the William J. Long History of English Literature, and the notes for this have been uploaded already. I uploaded it on last Wednesday. So if you want these notes as in written type notes, then you can join the membership of the channel. It's only 89 rupees per month, and if you want to buy my cultural study note to get an idea how to make notes for any competitive exam, basically for English literature, then you can check out description. I have all the links to my Instagram and everything. Basically you'll have to email me and pay the price, and then you can get my notes. Now let's get back into today's video. I know I am late. I wanted to post this video on Wednesday, but my room is so hot, and today there was a little bit of rain, so the Mausam is good, so that's why I'm here with this video. So yeah, without any further ado, let's get on with today's video. Today we are going to talk about Shakespeare's contemporaries, like about all the writers who were writing when Shakespeare was writing, when Shakespeare was in his prime. And I have like 6-7 writers who were writing at that point in time. These are like the most important writers. Those are mentioned in William J. Long. There could be a lot of other writers as well, but ye important hai. So yeah, there are like 7-8 writers, so we're going to talk about them one by one. So Ben Jonson is the first. Now there is a lot of confusion between English literature students, who is Jonson and who is Johnson, like Johnson with an H in between and Johnson without an H. So Ben Jonson is a 16th century playwright. Ben Jonson without an H, okay, this guy, okay. And Ben Jonson is a critic, okay. He is not per se a writer who has written a lot of works. He has written works, but basically his works are criticism, okay. So Johnson with an H, which is Dr. Jonson also, and he did not belong to this era, okay. So ye confusion apna clear kar lo. Now let's talk about Ben Jonson. So the main purpose of Ben Jonson's drama, or his writings you can say, was to restore the classic form of drama. He didn't want to make it new or anything. He wanted to bring back the classic form, which happens all the time. That's why there is this saying that old is gold. So all the time when we are in fashion, in music, in arts, in every form, you see there has always been this trend of bringing back or restoring the classical forms, because classics are classics for a reason, okay. So that was the thing. And then he wanted to keep the stage from its downward course. He didn't want the drama to to degrade itself in a way, okay. He wanted it to flourish, okay. That's what his purpose was. Like any writer, when he starts writing, there is a purpose behind his writings. You couldn't do anything without a purpose. That I don't have any kind of aim in my mind, I am just writing. Nobody just writes, okay. Whenever, even if it's a simple poem, it's anything, you have to have a meaning or a purpose, aim behind every action, right? Now here is a contrast between Ben Jonson and Shakespeare. Shakespeare was not that well educated. Ben Jonson, however, was well educated. He was educated at Cambridge. You people will know university wits, okay, the people who are in contrast with Shakespeare, that Shakespeare was not that educated and everything. These people were. So he was educated at Cambridge, okay. And then his stepfather forced him to learn bricklayer trade, okay, मतलब ईंटे वीटे वाला काम जो होता है. But he ran away and went with the English army to fight Spaniards in the Low Countries. So he kind of joined the army and everything. He did that. He did not do the bricklayer wala work, okay. 5 years later, he was employed like Shakespeare as an actor, reviser of old plays in the theatre. Now, what is the reviser of old plays? Shakespeare ne bhi yahi kiya. When you go to the stage and you have to write, okay, it's not like today you went to the English stage or any stage, basically, I don't know, but whatever I have read is that they give you this work is not to write a very original play, but whatever plays has been written already, you have to revise them. If there is anything jo kaat chhaat editing karni hai, you have to do that. An actor, छोटे मोटे एक्टर्स मिलने लगे, धीरे धीरे you become a better actor, and then you have a little bit of power, and then you start writing your own plays, okay, and also staging them like Shakespeare did. Like he's the prime example of it. So the tragedy that happened with Ben Jonson was that when he was working, he killed an actor. He dueled with an actor. Basically, duel is like you fight, two people fight, and he killed that actor. He pleaded clergy but lost all the goods and branded for life. Branded for life means when you have done something bad or anything, you are branded somewhere that you have done that deed. Like Mera Baap Chor Hai, in some Hindi movie it was there, right? I don't know if you people know, just comment which movie was that. I think it was some movie starring Amitabh Bachchan sir. I don't know, it's something like that. Okay, so that's what branding means. Like brand, you have been branded. Now wherever you go, you just, everybody knows that तुम्हारे एक तरीके से माथे पे नहीं तो कहीं ना कहीं ऐसा लिख दिया गया है कि that you have done this deed. So that's the thing. So on his left arm, so somewhere here he was branded that he has killed an actor. So the thing is, it earns you bad reputation basically. So yeah, that's the tragedy. Now Jonson's masks won him royal favor and he was made poet laureate. Instead of all this, he became poet laureate. Now poet laureate is like someone who gets the patronage of the king who is ruling at that point in time. Like Tennyson also became a poet laureate. Before him, Wordsworth was poet laureate, right? Now Jonson died poverty stricken in 1637 and buried with all honor in Westminster Abbey. Westminster Abbey ke bare mein we have talked before as well. His grave reads, "O rare Ben Jonson." Okay, that is the engravement on his tomb. Okay. And now Jonson versus Shakespeare, because Shakespeare was the best writer of his time, like the well-known writer of his time, and Jonson was also so the comparison is quite obvious, right? So Jonson और Shakespeare के बीच में comparison is that unlike Shakespeare, Jonson never takes liberty with historical facts. Okay, so Jonson historical facts से liberty लेने का मतलब he does not manipulate these historical facts. He is accurate to the smallest detail. Okay, whatever he has read in history, whenever he uses that historical fact in his play, he is accurate. Okay, he does not manipulate those facts, whereas Shakespeare does that. We have talked about this earlier as well, that Shakespeare introduces ambiguity in his plays. So whenever you are trying to be ambiguous, you have to manipulate a lot. Like King Lear or historical plays जो भी आप पढ़ लो, there would be a kind of manipulation of historical facts. Okay, now another thing is that Shakespeare used to write tragicomedies. Okay, ट्रेजेडी भी थोड़ी सी होती है, कॉमेडी भी थोड़ी सी होती है, बट व्हाट जॉनसन डज इज दैट ही आल्सो कीप्स कॉमेडी एंड ट्रेजेडी अपार्ट इंस्टेड ऑफ क्राउडिंग ईच अदर. जॉनसन इज वेरी क्लियर इन दैट ईदर इट्स फुल कॉमेडी, ईदर इट्स फुल ट्रेजेडी. इट्स देयर इज नो इन बिटवीन स्पेस. ओके, कि थोड़ा सी कॉमेडी भी कर देता हूँ, थोड़ी सी ड्रामा, थोड़ा सा ट्रेजेडी, ये वो, नॉट लाइक दैट. ओके, and the third difference is that Jonson represent intensely realistic picture of men and women of the Elizabethan age, how men talked and acted. Like he is true. Like when you read a Ben Jonson play, you know this is how people were at that point in time. Shakespeare mein there is embellishment and all those sorts of things. So yeah, that's what are some of the differences between Shakespeare and Jonson. Now the next thing is the works of Ben Jonson. Okay, so first comedy that Jonson wrote was Every Man in His Humor. It was the first great play, first comedy that he wrote, first like famous of his plays. Okay, now Shakespeare played one of the parts in one of these plays. Now you can see, even though we are comparing them, it's not like they were rivals कि ये Jonson का play है, ये Shakespeare का play, मैं इसका play नहीं देखूंगा, ऐसा वैसा कुछ भी नहीं. He even acted like Shakespeare acted when the theatre production was there. He acted in his plays Every Man in His Humor, and aim was to ridicule the humors of the city. कि society में whatever is happening, he has to as in comedy present karna, sarcasm, sarcastic, or in a comical way. It is first of the 3 satires by Jonson. Second one is Cynthia's Revels, which satirizes the humor of the court as in जहाँ राजा लोग रहते हैं उसका पूरा जो भी ह्यूमरस तरीके से उसकी मजाक उड़ाना. ओके, द थर्ड वन इज द पोएटेस्टर, द फॉल्स स्टैंडर्ड ऑफ द पोएट्स ऑफ द एज. लाइक वी हैव सीन, इट इज ऑलरेडी मेंशन दैट जॉनसन लाइक्ड रिप्रेजेंटिंग थिंग्स एज दे आर. So whatever the things, whatever fakeness was there in the society, he used to make, he used to ridicule them, okay, with satire and sarcasm, whatever this is. So he wrote these 3 satires. Okay, now the fourth work is Volpone or the Fox. Okay, many of his works have subtitle kind of thing. So the Fox is kind of the subtitle. Keen and merciless analysis of a man governed by an overwhelming love of money for its own sake. Okay, this is the premise of the play. Fifth work of Ben Jonson is The Alchemist. Now alchemist means somebody who turns a stone into gold. It is called alchemy. It's a kind of, it's not science, I don't know what it is. Sixth one is Epicon or the Silent Woman. The Silent Woman is again that the subtitle. Okay, so it's a state of morals among the upper classes. Now upper classes ka ridicule. So mostly you see Ben Jonson did not like the fakeness of the society, and he used to, every chance he used to get, he used to just make fun of them. Okay, 2 tragedies he wrote, okay, which is Sejanus, whatever is that pronounced, in 1603. The second one is Catiline in 1611. 2 tragedies he wrote. Now, okay, another thing that Ben Jonson wrote was masks. Masks were written like in appreciation of the, you know, your patron or the Raja jo bhi us time pe ho. So Ben Jonson has written in honor of James the First and Queen Anne. Okay, so all the masks were a satire, the prenates, mask of blackness, mask of beauty, hue and cry after Cupid, the mask of queens. So these are like 5-6 masks that he wrote. Then he wrote a few little poems and songs also, which are called the Triumph of Charis, Drink to Me Only with Thine Eyes, and To the Memory of My Beloved Mother. Okay, the last is the single volume of prose essays he has also written, Timber or Discoveries Made Upon Men and Matter. This is like the essay discourse kind of thing. Then Johnson's To Penhurst is one of the first English poems celebrating a specific place, a forerunner to Cooper's Hill and Windsor. So this is pretty much the most important works of Ben Jonson. There could be a lot. You can get the whole list from Wikipedia, but these are the most important things written in William J. Long. So that's pretty much it. Now the next writers I'm going to just talk about very briefly, because these are not very important, and इनके भी works बस दिए गए हैं mostly. Not a lot is given in this book. So but still, I mean, you have no idea what they can ask. So whatever. So these were joint playwrights. Okay, Beaumont and Fletcher. Shakespeare has also collaborated with a lot of people, you know, jointly लिखा last में ही wrote that. So yeah, इन लोगों ने लेकिन पूरा jointly लिखा. So best 2 joint plays written by both of these people is that first is Philaster, जिसका premises is the jealousy of a lover and the faithfulness of a girl. Okay, second one is the Maid's Tragedy. Fletcher जो है Beaumont and Fletcher के, Fletcher may have written some of Henry VIII with Shakespeare. It is like speculated, there is no proof, and also the 2 Noble Kingsmen. तो हो सकता है Shakespeare ने collaborate किया हो Fletcher के साथ. There is no there is no specific proof about that. The third one is Jon Webster. Now Jon Webster is kind of like a little bit more important person. He reproduced Italian life of the 16th century. Now you can see here a lot of writers are writing to restore the classic things like Italian say sonnets, Aethi and everything. Shakespeare is gonna do that again, so yeah, the 2 most important works by Jon Webster is the White Devil, which he wrote in 1612, and the Duchess of Malfi 1623. Now fourth one is Thomas Middleton. Thomas Middleton के ऊपर question आते हैं. Okay, so 2 of his best known plays are The Changeling and Women Beware Women. Women Beware Women के ऊपर भी question आ चुके हैं, so you can just prepare that. Now in their sensationalization and unnaturalness, they do violence to the moral sense and are repulsive to the modern reader. So Thomas Middleton kind of wrote more sensational and unnatural kind of works. Okay, another comedy mentioned here is A Trick to Catch the Old One, and a tragedy is A Fair Quarrel. Okay, then fifth one is Thomas Heywood, who has written 2 most important work, which is Women Killed with Kindness. It is a pathetic story of domestic life. I mean, it's obvious from the title only. Okay, and the second one is The Fair Maid of the West, which is a melodrama. Then the 6th one is Thomas Dekker, who has written 2 works, The Shoemaker's Holiday, which is recommended in PG, I think. A humorous study of plain working people, and the second one is Old Fortunatus, a fairy drama of the wishing hat and no end of money. Okay, then the 7th one is like 3 people, Messenger, Ford, Shirley. Okay, these 3 men mark the end of Elizabethan drama. Okay, so first one is Philip Messenger. So he has written these 4 works, which are called A New Way to Pay Old Debts. Okay, second one is The Great Duke of Florence. Third, The Virgin Mary. Fourth, The Maid of Honor, and the second one is John Ford. He has written The Broken Heart, and his plays are tiresome and unnatural. That's why you can see a lot of importance is not given even in William J. Long. The third one is James Shirley. He has written a work called Hyde Park, and he kind of imitated his predecessors, so nothing new there as well. And with these 3 writers like Shirley, this is the end of Elizabethan age. Okay, Elizabethan drama. These were the few important contemporaries of Shakespeare, and in the next video we're going to talk about the prose writer of that time. Okay, you know, whoever was writing prose, like Francis Bacon and all people. Yeah, so that's it for today, and I hope you found this video useful. Do let me know if there is any kind of query, and if you want me to make videos on British literature, like all the UGC NET ke all the notes I made, I can make videos like this. I can post notes on members only. Please join the membership. This is how you can just, you know, support this small channel. So yeah, that's pretty much it for today, and it's been 28 minutes since I've been recording this. I think this video is gonna go to like 20 minutes. So yeah, I think that's my cue to just stop recording this video. So yeah, bye bye for now, and I'll meet you in the next video. Till then, bye bye.